I'm sure you've already heard by now what happened in the 100-meter dash, because Kishane Thompson didn't just go off. He ran the fastest time that we have seen this side of Usain Bolt. So, when it comes to the World Championships, when you think about the gold medal, we know who is supposed to get it now. The only question is if anybody else in the world can figure out how to do something that they have never done before. When you add in a women's 100-meter team of Tina Clayton, Shericka Jackson, who is now healthy and running like herself, and Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce one more time in history, Jamaica's looking pretty good right now in the 100-meter dash. But when you move past that, the conversation changes a whole lot. Because as far as I can tell after watching the trials, it seems to me like Jamaica is going all in on the 100-meter dash. And when I say all in, I don't just mean like the 100 and the 4x1 and the short. No. I mean the 100 specifically. And here's why. I am also aware that some Jamaican athletes have even switched their allegiance, primarily on the field events, away from the nation over to Turkey going forward. But that is a topic that I've already shared my thoughts on, so there's no need to go back on it now. I could talk about the history of Jamaica, and there's so many things that I could say. I mean, this is one of those videos where, things might be a little discombobulated. I'm just doing this all off of memory. So I'm just going to rip this off. But I have very real thoughts, because when I looked at the 200s, because I wanted to see what Jamaica was going to do, I'm glad to see that Brian Lavelle qualified for the Worlds. He has the World Championship standard. He ran fast earlier this year. And even though he did look like he was a little injured at the back of the 100, and to see him go through the round and now have a chance to go to Worlds, and he's a real threat to make the final, that makes me feel good. What I'm concerned about, well, not really concerned. Let's just start here. Is Brian Lavelle a real contender for a 200-meter medal at the Worlds? I'm sure he could get one, like stranger things have happened. But these are the people he's going to have to beat. Lasile Taboho, this is in no particular order, Kenny Bednarik, Noah Lyles, Arian Knighton, these are the names that we expect he's going to have to go through. So, medal contention and getting to the final are not exactly the same thing. And I'm pretty sure that Jamaica wants hardware when they go over to the Worlds. They don't call them the sprint capital for no reason. This is what they do. So I had to start thinking about the history of Jamaica, specifically in the post-Usain Bolt era, and then start weighing that against what we actually saw in this event. Notice, I didn't say much about the women's 200, and I don't mean any disrespect to the women who actually ran it. But once I noticed that Shericka Jackson was not contesting the 200 at the Jamaican national trials, I severely lowered my expectations. Because after Shericka, right now, because Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce wasn't running it, she'd run it in the past and got world medals. Like Elaine Thompson-Herah, unfortunately, we haven't gotten to see her at all this year and don't know if we ever will going forward. If that's what we're doing, nobody else in that race on the men's or the women's side for the 200-meter finals has a championship standard, world championship standard up until this point. I say they don't have it at all. So unless I'm getting this wrong, it's starting to look like Jamaica might not have but one entry on either the men's or the women's side in the 200-meter dash. So, hey, we all got to climb aboard the Brian Lavelle train if you're looking for a medal from Jamaica, at least in the 200. Then you look over to the relays. Again, I'm talking about the current state of Jamaican sprinting. The women's 4x1 is going to be there, and although the world relays didn't go well, I'm glad that they were there because it gives me a reason to believe they can run what they're capable of when we do get to the Worlds. Don't get me wrong, other nations are going to be there. There's those that have continuity, like Great Britain and Spain, and they always figure it out and put out competitive relays, and world relays told us that. Then the Americans are going to be there with all the speed they have. And the American women have handled business in the 4x1. I personally think they can go even faster, but nobody really asked me, so we can move past that point. Everything else, when we go into the men's 4x1, as far as I can tell right now, Jamaica's men's 4x1 isn't even qualified for the Worlds, which is wild to say out loud. Again, somebody fact check me on this because I know that they weren't qualified after World Relays. I hope something is happening between then and now, or then in the Worlds, that changes it, because it's not really going to feel right if the men's 4x1 isn't there. But if you're new here, I want to say thank you for even making it this far into the video. And I'm Coach Rob, and if you really want to know what's going on with the fastest athletes in the world, then you are in the right place. And if anything that I say actually connects with you, it is always greatly appreciated if you would please like and subscribe. But if I don't, just let me know in the comment section because I try to read them all. Now that we have the current state of the situation, like, hey, it's coming down to the 100. I mean, we could talk about other events. We could, like the 400 hurdles. And again, shout out to all the athletes who competed and the performances they put on the board. When I think about the medal counts, like who's going to win medals, we have a good idea of what it's going to take to win the medals in most of these events. If we're talking about the women's 4, we already know 2 of those medals are gone. Like, we know the women who are going to get those. I mean, there's one more up for grabs for the rest of the entire world. When we talk about the 400 hurdles, again, we've got at least 2 medals that are gone, potentially 3, because the podium we got from the Olympics last year is looking pretty good right now. On the men's 400 hurdles, yeah, that's gone. We know who the three men are supposed to be for that one. Like, there's a lot of events that aren't wide open. The 200 this year is actually more wide open than it's ever been, at least talking about, like, actual performances in 2025. So the fact that Jamaica doesn't have, I mean, any real allotment of entries in those events is rather unique. I mean, the women's 200 is less wide open, but I only felt that way because I expected Shericka Jackson to be running it. I'm sure she has her reasons, and I'm looking forward to what she's going to do in the 1. And for that matter, the 4x1. But now, I'm going to start talking a little bit more about the history. Again, I'm rattling this all off from memory because I just Googled it. I mean, hey, I don't know everything. I'm just a man with access to Google, and I try to use it on a regular basis. So here we go. In the post-Usain Bolt era, that's really what I'm focused on. So 2017 happened, and Bolt gets a bronze medal in the 100. Let's first just talk about the men. From that moment up until now, you want to know how many sprint medals Jamaica has won in the 100, the 200, and the men's 4x1? It only happened one time. And if you're starting to struggle with who it was, it's because it just happened. Kishane Thompson in 2024. That silver medal in the 100 is the only medal they've seen on the men's side in a sprinting event like the 1, the 2, or the 4x1 between that moment and now. Remember, Jamaica is the same nation that swept the 200 in the Bolt era. So when people say it was just Bolt running fast, that is a lie. Other people were going fast with him on a regular basis. So, with Kishane Thompson running like this, it's safe to say that you had better hope that he comes back with a gold medal this year. Because, again, the 100, like, that's it. Like, that's the shot. That, like, Jamaica's going all in there. Oblique Seville could get a medal. I mean, hey, stranger things have happened. His talent is undeniable. And Akeem Blake is a threat to make it to the final. I mean, for Jamaica to go, like, best case scenario on the men's side, because they're not running the 4x1, and I'm just going to call it how I see it. I don't think Jamaica's getting the medal in the 200 behind Brian Lavelle. I could be wrong, but I doubt it. So, best case, you get 2 medals out of the 100, and that's basically going to be the medal haul on the men's side. I mean, something else could happen in an event that I really wasn't checking for. But, again, when we talk about the sprints and the hurdles, I'm not really seeing it. Not really seeing it in the 110 hurdles. Not really seeing it in the 400 hurdles. Not seeing it in the open 4. Definitely not seeing it in a 4. Like, I'm not seeing it. Again, in the comment section, let me know. I could be wrong. Maybe I'm missing something. I mean, American trials is coming in a while. So I'll give my thoughts on that as we go down. But Jamaica just let us know what they're working with. And when Kishane Thompson becomes the lead story the way he did, the rest of the world should probably pay attention. Which is why I tried to pay attention. Because I expected there was going to be more to the story. So when we look at the history on the women's side, like shifting over now, they've had a whole lot more success from 2017 up until now. I mean, if we talk about the Worlds and the Olympics and try to roll it all together, we could just say it this way. In the Olympics, the only time Jamaica did not get multiple medals between the 100 and the 200, like the only time it didn't happen was 2024, like the year that just happened, where they got shut out across the board. No medals in the 1, the 2, or the 4x1. That was not supposed to happen on any account. Jamaica almost always gets multiple medals. Remember, this is a very small nation in the grand scheme of the world. So the fact that when we do an Olympic 100 or an Olympic 200, or for that matter a 4x1, they're not always just there. They're there and getting multiple spots in the finals. Like, I mean, the relay is different, but you get the point. That's where they're at. And when it comes to the World Championships, I mean, 2023, they were still just looking like themselves. So 2024 is really when things just shifted all of a sudden. There's no real reason for us to expect that this year the Jamaican women aren't going to handle business in the 100 again. But like I said, in the 200, I didn't see any championship, world championship qualifying standards that were run. So they might not have any entries there. They are all in on the 100. And for that matter, the women get the 4x1 to go along with it. But that's it. So when we look at the worlds this year, when it comes to Jamaica, the sprint capital, whom most people know, is always a factor. Like, you see a Jamaican athlete, you see a Jamaican uniform, you take them seriously, even if you don't really know their name. But this year it's going to come down to the 100. So Jamaica is doubling down. That's what I can see. They didn't want to split their efforts. Athletes who had a chance to win in the 100, they didn't want to double or try to double. Aside from Brian Lavelle, if we're being real, based off this year's performances, the other two best 200-meter runners that Jamaica has are Oblique Seville and Akeem Blake. Totally understand why they're not running it, because they dealt with injuries earlier this year, possibly due to running multiple races, and I get that. Totally get it. Like, the load they took on, didn't expect them to run the 200 at that stage. But they are the best 200-meter runners that Jamaica would have, who are not named Brian Lavelle. So because they're not running it, it looks like he's going to be running it by himself. We will see how this all goes when we get to the World Championships. We've still got some big meets between now and then. Prefontaine Classic, I'm definitely talking about that at the moment, where we're going to get more of a glimpse. But if you really care about sprinting, and you are a fan of Jamaica, I'm pretty sure that by the time we get to the Worlds, the 100 is going to have all of your attention. Because as far as I can tell, that is where most of the attention has gone for Jamaica this season. Nobody wins in track and field without putting in the work, because any real track star has to prove it, both on the track and in the weight room. With the I Trained Hard for This shirt, you can let everyone know that your success is not an accident. Get yours at scarecruiting.com/shop or use the link in the description below. It's a huge support to me and this channel, so I can continue to make you more content like this. And remember, it is always greatly appreciated if you would please like and subscribe.